Jesus Christ, I'm so blue all the time, and that's just how I feel, always have. My heart is squeezing apart, that's fine.
And I couldn't breathe. It was like there was no more air left in the
If for you I keep my legs apart, if I get up on my tainted heart.
Remember, kids, the next time that somebody tells you the government wouldn't do that, oh yes they would.
You make me feel like a fool, waiting for you.
Quick little story time. I just need a vent because as a society, I think that we would be beyond this point, but clearly we are not. So I went out yesterday to go take photos for a brand. Bryce was helping me, and I'm standing there posing, doing all the things, and a group of girls walk by, and they just all start looking at each other and just laughing, you know, and I'm just like, in my mind, I'm like, we are at the point where everyone takes photos. Everyone takes photos. How do you think girls get the pictures onto social media? Just, how do you think that happens? And then the second thing that I was thinking was, if you're a girl's girl, you should be taking over that photo shoot. Like my fiance or like your partner or whatever, you know, they're trying their best to get all the angles and do all the things, but if you're a girl's girl, you know the angles. You know the angles, you know how to get the shot. So I'm just like, okay, walking by, laughing at me, you know, whenever I see other girls taking photos, I'm like, go you. I'm like, I'm proud of you. I'm out here, I'll support you. And I just think that it's so aged. Like, that's so old, and that's just like rude to be walking by and laughing like that. But anyways, photos turned out great, so I'm not mad about it. I just had to vent. I just had to vent and let it be known that we should not be laughing, we should be supporting, we should be taking over those photo shoots.
You know what sucks more than anything?
Tell me.
They're my friends.
Let's hear what you got.
All right. Well, these little...
Wrap it up.
Of the time my entire high school saw my boobs and a video of me in the shower that I had no idea existed. So that I do not get sued, I will be changing names from the story, but some of you weird fuckers who did this to me in high school follow me, so I hope that made your stomach drop. I do unfortunately have to give a trigger warning for child porn. If you understand what I'm saying, I was underage when this happened to me. This all started my 8th grade year at my first year ever in public school on New Year's Eve. I was with 4 of my closest girlfriends, but only one of them needs to really be talked about during this story. We are going to call her Ella. So the end of the night rolls around, we were all having a good time, and I go to take a shower, which I feel like is a pretty normal thing to do. So now we're gonna skip ahead a year to my freshman year of high school. Like I said, that was in 8th grade. This will make sense in a second. So it's my freshman year, it's right at the beginning of the school year. I'm pretty petrified, as I feel like most freshmen in high school are. I had just made like the varsity cheerleading team. I was trying to make friends. It was very overwhelming, like for that age. Cheer practice one day, it's one of our first practices of the season. And one of my teammates comes up to me, and I will forever love her for letting me know before somebody else did. And she's like, Kendall, this is gonna, like, why is there a video of you going around of you in the shower? And I'm like, what do you mean? I've never taken a video of myself in the shower. I was like 15 at the time. I just remember looking at her and my heart dropping and being like, what are you talking about? There's no way. It can't be me. This must be someone else. And she was like, no, Kendall, like I'm 100% it was you. We were at my birthday dinner last night, and one of the boys that was sitting at the table with us airdropped it to the entire table at Chili's. This is where it all started. I didn't really know what to do at this point. I was petrified of my coach finding out, of my mom. I'm like flipping through every file in my head. I'm like, did I do that? But like, why would I do that? I was so fucking confused. Still being extremely confused. I didn't want to like lose my place on this team. I continued on with practice, went about my day until the next day at school. I remember sitting in class. It was a normal day. I was trying not to think about it too much because I was like, she has to have me confused with someone else. There's no way that it's me. That would be until every single person who had their airdrop on in the classroom got an airdrop, except for me, and the entire class just turned around and just fucking stared at me, and I knew exactly what was going on. And I have never been so... I still sweat to this day talking about it. I remember not asking the teacher if I could go to the bathroom, anything. I just ran out of the room, ran to the bathroom, and I remember sitting on the bathroom floor just absolutely sobbing, and I'm pretty positive that I stayed there for the rest of the day on the bathroom floor. So I left school that day. It was at this point where I just started getting absolutely bombarded with texts from my friends, people that I wasn't really friends with, and I didn't know what to do because I had never seen this video. I didn't remember taking this video. I was convinced that there was just no way it was me. It had to be someone else. I truly don't think I've ever been so confused in a situation, still to this day in my entire life. So the next day at school, I'm sitting at lunch and I didn't even want to be there. I was begging my mom not to make me go to school. She's like, why do you not want to go to school? Like, what's wrong with you? You have to go to cheer, like blah, blah, blah. And this video gets airdropped in the school cafeteria. And this is when things really, if you didn't think they were going downhill already, this is where it starts to go downhill. Again, I run out of the room and I go and I sit on the bathroom floor at my school and just sob for the rest of the day until cheer practice. And this is the day where I knew that it was just getting bad and that everything was kind of about to go to shit. And this was when my cheer coach pulled me aside at practice and was like, why am I having so many people come to me telling you that there's a video of you naked in the shower? Also, still at this point, I had still never seen this video. Nobody would show it to me. It was like people were being so mean about it that they just liked it, that they could see it and like hold it over my head and not have me see it. Like I had no idea still. I was still fucking confused. So at this point, I just absolutely break down to my cheer coach. I still love and talk to her to this day. And she sent me home, and at that point I was like, I think I need to tell my mom because I honest to God don't ever remember taking this video. I like need to tell somebody what's going on because this is like not okay. Another thing that I forgot to mention that happened to me is the day when I left the cafeteria and I was running to the bathroom, there was a boy who was a couple years older than me and he had a bottle of water in his hand and he threw water at me and asked if I needed to go take a shower. And like it was just so bad. And so when my mom came and picked me up, I had a mental breakdown and she didn't let me like go to school for a few days until we figured out what was going on or like what to do. At this point I did know who was spreading the video the most. It was it was like a guy I had like talked to in like literally the 8th grade, and then another one was a guy that I like was very involved with from the 8th grade, like really all throughout high school because I'm that fucking stupid. I forgave him for all of this. Like I am so mentally ill, it hurts. So the only thing that my mom and I really knew to do at this point was to just go to the school and see if like the principal or someone on the board, like, and this, as you can imagine, is so mortifying to go to the board about this. But we hadn't seen the video. We didn't know if it was actually me or not in it. Like, we didn't know what to do. At this point, I just wanted to move like out of state. Like I was like, I want to switch schools. I was so fucking mortified and embarrassed without even seeing the video that you just wait. So my mom calls the principal, and surely enough, when she gets on the phone with him, he happens to tell her, oh my goodness, I was gonna call you at the end of the day today. I needed to talk to you about this. Like it had already made its way to him. Like everyone knew about this. I swear to God, everyone. He had another parent, I don't know who, send it to him, and so now I'm mortified that the principal has either seen my boobs or like some other girl's boobs that I don't fucking know. So we go in for a meeting at the school with the principal, some people from the board, like the superintendent, the lady at the front desk for some reason, the security guard that was like always outside the front door of our high school, my mom and I, like so many people in this fucking room. And keep in mind, I still had not seen this fucking video. So we're in this meeting and they start playing the video and I immediately knew what was going on. Every single puzzle piece connected in my head in that moment and I just broke down sobbing. So remember at the beginning of the video when I told you I had those 4 girlfriends, New Year's Eve, I took a shower at the end of the night? One of those weird ass bitches, what did I call her? Ella, I think? She decided to like stick her phone above the shower curtain and take a video of me showering, held on to that video for 7 or 8 months, and then one day on like a random fucking school day just decided to just blast it everywhere, send it to one of my ex-boyfriends. He's the one who like airdropped it at Chili's. Like everything made sense, and I have never been so angry and like felt so upset at like so many people in my life. Also, mind you, there was nothing that happened between me and Ella. We were fine. We were literally still friends whenever this video started going around. Oh shit, hang on. So I will forever think she is like one of the absolute weirdest people I've ever met in my entire life for this. So at this point I had two options, either deal with it or I could press charges, but here was the gag about that. If I pressed charges on Ella, I had to press charges on my ex-boyfriend, the boyfriend that I had talked to in the 8th grade, everyone who airdropped it, everyone who was like, I was gonna have to press charges against like upwards of like 10 to 15-year-olds. Like, I just didn't want to put people on a sex offender list at that early on in your life. Like, I couldn't do it, so I didn't press charges. So that's pretty much all that happened. I just kind of decided to suck it up and leave it alone. After I understood what the video was and what was happening, that was when I could, you know, go to people and be like, hey, like, actually this is what happened. Like, she's a fucking weirdo. And she ended up, I want to say either like moving like a lot of counties away or like moving out of state or something, but like the tables completely turned. But people still are weird about it to me, which is just bizarre. I unfortunately couldn't, you know, go to everyone who had seen that video because it was literally hundreds of people. And, you know, tell my side of the story and like, hey, like, I didn't do that on purpose. Like, I never knew that was taken. And I was also 15 in that video. So I shit you not, one of the last times I was home in Georgia, I was out at an Athens bar, and a guy who I did not even know, he apparently went to a surrounding high school of mine, came up to me and was like, yo, I remember that video of you in the shower, like, when we were in high school. And I just looked at him and was like, you're a fucking weirdo, because I was 15 years old and I have never seen a man look so stunned, but like that, like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And like, what a weird conversation starter. Sorry, I know this video is kind of long, but I think my point with all this is if you've ever had something like this happen to you, know that it's not just you, it's not your fault, it's humiliating, but it's not really something to be humiliated about. It wasn't your fault. It's gonna be okay, I promise. I live a very happy, fulfilling life now. This does not haunt me anymore the way that it used to. You're gonna be okay. If you do like longer story times, I have a very unfortunate amount of stories, not maybe as bad as this, but things similar if you want me to talk about them. High school is a shit show, and if you're in high school, I can be like your high school big sister or something, I don't know. Anyways, come back to part 2 for the dinner outfit. Love you, bye.
You say that you love me, I just wish you came through. I don't want you for.
Reasons I almost started crying today at work, and it's only 10 a.m. Mind you, I woke up this morning with a pep in my step, and I was like, things are really, oh my god. Never mind, things aren't looking up for me. First, my coworker came up to me and she was like, are you okay? And I was genuinely fine, so I was like, yeah. And she was like, are you sure? And I'm like, at this point, I'm unsure, like, what's up? She's like, I don't know, you're just like being really slow today, like, you need to pick up the pace. Babes, I was literally cleaning something, so I had to be meticulous, and I'm sorry that I'm not eager to clean at 7 a.m. in the morning. Next, I was going through Tinder during my break for the laughs, purely for shits. It's camp. Kid that I used to have a thing with pops up, and first of all, I would never get back with him. However, he must be in love with me. That's what I'm thinking. I must confirm this to stroke my ego. I swipe right to see we don't match. I cannot believe this is the life I lead. This man is gonna think I want his seed. I do not want his seed. I just needed to confirm that he was potentially in love with me. And potentially, I don't think he is, but that's okay. You live and you learn. Last thing during my break, I went to Rite Aid to get pistachios. You're gonna tell me they're $9 for a pistachio in 2022. They're
Remember, I always love you.
Let's do a get ready with me and a story time because this story just deserves to be shared. Alright, to set the scene for you, I was in middle school, and in middle school, it's literally the most awkward years of your life, and everybody is just trying to fit in. At this stage of my life, I was kind of going through a rough patch, just hanging around the wrong people. I wasn't really bad, but I definitely needed to get back on track. So during middle school, we needed AR points, which were like reading points, and we had to take tests on books. And I hadn't finished my book yet, but you know, I was in my self-care era even back then, and I decided to take my book into the bath to read, but I also decided to take my phone. Let me also add, this is when iPhones were not as waterproof as they are now. So I go to step into my freshly made bath with bubbles and everything, with my book in one hand, a bath bomb in the other hand, and my phone. So my hands We're full. Too full. So when I step in, I drop my phone. Traumatic. I'm obviously upset because I think my phone is broken. I also dropped my book, which I'm borrowing from the school. And so I pick my phone up. My book is just floating through the water. And I pick my phone up like this. I don't think anything of it. I run downstairs, I put it in a bag of rice, and I get back in my bath and I start reading my half-soaken book. All of a sudden, people are banging on the bathroom door, saying that my best friend has called the house phone like 8 million times. So I get out of the bath in my towel, I walk to my room, and I call her back, and I'm like, hey, like, what's up? She's flipping out. Like, she is hyperventilating, you know, like, Ace, what is on your story? What is on your story? And I'm like, what do you mean what's on my story? Like, my phone is broken in a bag of rice. And she's like, girl, like, there's a video of on your story. And I'm in complete shock. So I'm literally just sitting on my bed in a towel, and I'm like, oh my God, I have to tell my mom. Like, this is horrifying. I tell my mom, my best friend comes over. I'm still wrapped in a towel, and I look down over my balcony, and my neighbors are there, my dad is there, everyone you don't want to be there to see this video. I get to watch the video for the first time, and I am literally bawling my eyes out, and my book is just floating through the water of the video. If you're wondering why I didn't just log in and delete it, I didn't know my login. So some kid eventually logged in and deleted it for me. And at school the next day, everyone hugged me and acted as if I had a family member pass away, and I had to give a speech in front of the whole school. Don't take your phone in the bath.
I don't think so. No, 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 no. I don't think so. No, 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 no. It's never, ever, 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 ever gonna happen. I don't think so. No, 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 no.